What's up, interwebs? It's the SantiMama bringing you another Pokemon Showdown. This is an RU battle, and I switched up my team a little bit because I figured these new guys would synergize better with my current team, and it turns out it worked fairly well for me, so let's get it on. So I'm on the opposite side of the screen. That's just the way that the replay system works in Showdown. Seeing how I have a custom skin, I guess it confuses the replay system and I'm backwards. So he starts off with Mesprit. I figured he was going to start with a Mungus, which is why I come in with Aerodactyl to try to get an aerial ace off. But he starts with Mesprit, and I don't really think he can do anything to me, so I'm going to go for a double edge. He goes for a Parahax T-Bolt, which is a pretty good move on his point. And I think he thought I was going to switch, so he figured he could get free Stealth Rocks, but I said no, I'm going to go for another double edge, thinking I might could take this thing out. If anything, I just wanted to get damage on it, because I figured I can really revenge kill it with anything on my team, seeing how it has that low of health should Aerodactyl die. But he's going to go into Rotom. I thought he was going to go into a Moonkiss now to try to set up some poison or something like that, or put me to sleep. So I go for an Aerial Ace instead of another Double Edge, which is a good move on my part because Double Edge would not done anything against Rotom. So I have to bring in Galvantula now to take care of this ghost bitch. And Galvantula is electric, so he's going to resist that Volt Switch nicely. And he knows that Galvantula is going to rip him to shreds, so he's going to switch into Kabutops, which is an interesting play. I guess he thought I was low enough on health he could take me out with an Aqua Jet, but I live with 1 HP. Are you kidding me? And then Galvantula's going to use Giga Drain and take out Kabutops. That was incredibly fortunate. Galvantula, you are a boss, girl. You know how to work it. So she lives with 1 HP, which is ridiculous. I guess that guy was really frustrated. So he brings in Magmortar now to revenge kill, and I know I can't touch this thing, so I'm going to Volt Switch, and it turns out I can touch that thing. I mean, holy crap. A Volt Switch does like 53 damage. That's a lot. So I figured I'd bring in Sandslash. I wanted to spin those rocks away. I thought I could live any one hit from this thing and managed to just spin away the rocks, but that was not the case, and he takes me out, which is unfortunate. I wanted to get those rocks away so that Aerodactyl could come in, but whatever. So now I bring in Poliwrath because I know I can destroy this Magmortar. He's going to stay in and try to get lucky with a Thunderbolt, but it's not going to happen. Poliwrath's going to take that like a boss because he's my special wall, and I'm going to kill it with Waterfall. Yeah, I wanted Sandslash to spin away those rocks because that's really the only thing he needed to do this match, so I wasn't too upset that he died, but it was a little unfortunate. But now he's going to bring in a Moongus because his grass attacks can rip me to shreds. But I get lucky with the Ice Punch and I get the Freeze Hacks. Are you kidding me? Nobody ever gets Freeze Hacks. I know I don't get Freeze Hacks. So I'm pretty sure this guy is really, really annoyed at this point that I just got Freeze Hacks on his Amoonguss. Which to me was just delightful because I hate Amoonguss. It's like my least favorite Pokemon in RU. So now I bring in Aerodactyl because my air attacks can rip him to shreds, and he knows that, so he's going to have to switch into something else. So he switches into Rotom, and at this point, I don't really want to try to face Rotom because his electric attacks can rip me to shreds. So I bring in Sceptile knowing he can take any electric attack without really that much damage. So he's going to Volt Switch here, and he is going to switch into his Absol. So Absol comes in, and I figure I'll just detect this first turn just to see what he wants to do. He's going to go for a Sucker Punch, which is probably a good move. Granted, I almost went for an Energy Ball, or Giga Drain rather. Almost went for a Giga Drain. So I'm going to Toxic, and he happens to have a Lumberry, which is, I guess, very convenient for him, and he's going to Swords Dance. So he basically got a free Swords Dance there. And I'm a little concerned now, so I'm just going to say screw it. I just got to attack this thing on the off chance I can kill it outright. And I almost do. He lives with 6 HP, or 6%, which I guess is kind of payback for when my Galvantula lived with 1. I would have really liked for Sceptile to have taken that thing out, but what can you do? It's not that big a deal because I can bring in Entei and kill this thing with extreme speed, no problemo, and he knows that, so he's going to switch into his Rotom. And of course that was a good play because extreme speed will not affect Rotom because he's Ghost. So now Entei, I figured, well, Rotom, you may be able to live extreme speed, but you sure as hell will not be able to live a Flare Blitz. So he goes for a Thunderbolt, which Entei takes like a boss. I know he's not like weak to thunder or lightning attacks, but he's not really defensively bulky at all. So he manages to live that fairly well, and he gets the Flare Blitz kill, which is really nice. Now he's going to bring in Mesprit, and this thing has like no health because Aerodactyl was smashing its face earlier, so I kill it with the extreme speed. That was a fairly easy kill. So Aerodactyl definitely helped Entei out at this point. And after the Rotom dies, Entei is pretty much just going to sweep his whole team. He's going to bring in a Moongus, which is frozen, but it's 2 times weak to fire, so Entei's going to take him out with a Flare Blitz. And I do take quite a bit of recoil. Maybe he was hoping that I was going to die to recoil damage, seeing how his Amogus was full HP. But that's not the case. I get enough lefties to live with 9, and my lefties continue to stack up. His only move is to bring in Absol, which again has no HP, and I can kill it with extreme speed. So he has to forfeit, and I win the match. So yeah, that was a good match, sir, Mr. Goomy Gang. Thank you for playing with me, and I will have more videos soon.